Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun, here at Where Media Meets Studios, in conjunction with VJTV, Farrell Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions, Camouflage, Drop Knock. Shout out to the Venus Lounge as always. Shout out to the Venus Lounge. What's happening with the good people? First Fridays in the town, you know what I'm saying? June 7th. Gemini season.
Good old Gemini.
Good old twins. Edgar Allan Poe ass people of the world. I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves as always.
Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Pharaoh, a.k.a. Farrell Films.
And it's the kid Camouflage, K-A-double-M in the building.
This was good. So, man, what's happening with you brothers, man? We took a week off last week. Niggas was on vacation. We had shit to do.
I went out to the poorest state in America, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
And I'm here to tell y'all, it really is the poorest state. I mean, man, just abject poverty out there, man. But it's a lot of love out there, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people they really own some we all we got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, it's a beautiful place, community-wise, but if you've ever lived out here, had nice things, and did things, and had excitement, you're not gonna be happy there.
Damn.
For sure. Yep. I had a busy week. I did shout out Tamara the Brands. I did the All-in-One Radio podcast a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was good. Shout out D-Boy the Mac. He slid through.
D-Boy the Mac.
For sure. And then tomorrow I'm dropping my video. That we just filmed up here. And then in the next day or two, I'm having some technical difficulties, but in the next day or two, I'll be dropping the album for sure. So
that's big right there.
Actually, not the next day or two. Look for it next Thursday. Let's just say next Thursday. It'll
get
be
mine off the rip.
Yeah. And man. Then tomorrow we got a pool party, man. Tap in with me. Anybody interested in hitting that pool party tomorrow? Near downtown
location.
Oakland. Yeah.
Great location.
Yeah.
No riffraff.
Yeah, you can't just walk in. So otherwise,
it's nothing.
We would post it. But since it's
gotta screen you.
Yeah. So just tap in Camouflage or tap in. Shout out my boy Donnie Fresh.
Shout out to the homie Donnie Fresh.
BBL's welcome, but Booty Dudes is not.
Yeah.
Right. That part. So yeah, man, and then today we got this podcast, so we just going.
I'm so excited.
Shout out to the homie Lamar. See you
got
tuning in,
going
bro.
On, man. The little bit of the album that you blessed me to hear, man, is fire, man. Y'all need to really pick that up, man.
Yeah.
The boy spitting fire. I mean, you've been spitting fire for a long time, but it's like you took it up a whole nother notch.
Right.
So, man, I'm looking forward to sitting down in its entirety, man, and going through that first from 0-0 to the completion.
So so let's, before we even go into the current events or whatnot, Flodge, what's up? Speak on this album, man. Who you got on it?
You and that boy Stalin have good chemistry on the mic too.
Yeah. So the album is it's about 10 songs. Well, it's 12 total. I got like 2 clean versions, but Stalin, man, he blessed me and jumped on a verse, and that's the feature in the video. And then I got Donnie Fresh on there. Shout out Donnie Fresh. Shout out Mr. Fab for sure, man. He blessed me with a verse.
Abby Davis.
Yeah, shout out.
I just saw him last week at Thug Therapy.
Yeah, Thug Therapy with Filthy. Filthy was up there.
No, I went to the Lil D and
Lil
Ross.
D, Lil D and Rick. Oh yeah, that's
I was watching. I wanted to be there, but I was on the island chilling.
Right.
Relax mode, but man, I missed that.
It was good comradiness, good brotherhood. Shout out to Trap and Broski. They was also in the building.
Shout out to the homies.
Yeah, for sure. So my boy Curse, great artist, great engineer. been down with Livewire, blessed me with a lot of the engineering. He jumped on the track. Um, I just been trying to get with people that that can make good music. So it's just a ton of people,
Right.
on my friends list that I really rock with that I want to do some stuff with. Shout out Chrissy Cola, man. I'm sorry
Oh
we
yeah.
couldn't make it happen on this particular album, but
Right.
I'm looking for it. And then I'm
So
looking
Chrissy
forward
Chrissy,
to
the
Boy.
hottest
Shout out
female
to Chris.
MC in the bag,
Yeah,
man.
she
Yeah.
got bars.
I mean, on the West Coast,
She
period.
dope.
and real important, real important. I've been sending out a lot of little correspondence, man. So we got this movie called A Horror in Oakland,
Yes.
and I've been reaching out to artists as
Yeah.
far as doing the soundtrack thing, and I'm getting a lot of yeah it's good, but I'm not getting no
Right.
no like okay here's the track. So
Right.
I just want to remind people, man, get them. The deadline was gonna be the 10th of this month, but I mean we already almost there. But if y'all can hustle up, man, and get me them tracks, I just need like 10 to 12 tracks, just so we can make this stuff happen, man. So
That always amazes me, man, when I get that. Yeah, it's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's nothing, and then there's absolutely no follow up, and you become like, man, am I pestering you? Because
And the
you said it was
opportunity-
good.
yeah,
And the thing
Yeah.
about it is,
Yeah.
this is the opportunity to have your music on a movie soundtrack. So y'all need to take advantage of shit like this.
And I do understand there'd be so many cats around here shaking and faking that
Yeah.
sometimes people be kind of reluctant to dive in, but it's like
Mhm.
this. You can't get nowhere without taking those steps.
right,
Hesitant or not.
right.
True.
And
Especially when
people
you look and see that we do got an actual track record of doing what we say we're gonna do.
Yeah, true.
You
Yeah,
know what
no
I'm saying?
fugazi shit
So
over here.
Sometimes people like if one person say one thing, one person else say something. Some cats try to play. I don't know who telling the truth. This and that. Okay, well then let's go to the resumes.
Right.
Who's actually done what they say they're gonna do, and who's about to.
Right.
That tell you right there who telling the truth.
Them fixing twos.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But but some people don't want to take no sides. They don't want to offend nobody. You can
Mhm.
play. Some things you can't play the middle on. Sometimes you got to take a course of action. You either fuck with it or you don't.
right.
But you can't sit on the fence. Because this train moving. You fuck around to get ran over or left behind.
No brakes.
And and I know a lot of people is sometimes people be reluctant to just give you a track or something, but you know y'all just know, man, y'all shoot me that track, man, you'll be happy you did, man. So
I mean, how
we do
often
everything
do-
all legit, so you
how
don't get your
often-
credit.
Right.
Right.
How often do people get the opportunity for their music to be played in a movie soundtrack? I mean, let's just think about it. Just the common folk. How often does that happen? It doesn't happen that often. So
No.
people take advantage of the opportunities that's presented to you.
Right.
Something my senseis taught me when I was a young hyena, was opportunity is usually disguised as hard work. Therefore,
Right.
most fail to recognize it.
Man, facts.
Okay.
Facts. So yeah, but man, a lot of good things happening on the music front with you, man. How long did it take you to put this whole project together?
Man, I'll be on some Michael Jackson shit in my own head. Like I'll be just looking for the right opportunity. So it's been about like 6 months in the making. Yeah, just because I just been trying to have everything what they call it, like when you launch something, right? So you just I dropped out the 5-9 day video, then I'm hitting them with the other video tomorrow, and then the album next week. So it'll be on all platforms. So I just 9 months. I mean, it could have been faster, but I believe in like quality instead of just quantity. So I'm real picky about the beats that I like to use, because right now I'm on some like upbeat, up tempo. It's a lot of dark hip hop that has its, it has its healing, it has its rowdiness, it has its whatever. But I prefer like, where I'm at with the music is like, the album is called Reverse Engineering. So what I'm trying to get people to do is understand the concept that I feel that music nowadays has lost its soul. I don't feel like these cats is rapping with no soul. Like they're just talk, like they say mumble rap. I mean, I ain't gonna insult nobody, but like if it's a lot of the style now is more to deliver a talking style message.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's cool and it sounds good. But I think the soulful, like James Brown and Prince and all of them, man, and Michael, they used to scream and
put some passion
and
into
whoo, and a lot of upbeat because it was
Mhm.
like okay, like it's soulful, like it's coming from the heart. Versus now, it seemed like a lot of this music just be coming from like a dark place. You know what I mean? And
it's a lot of depressed
No,
niggas on the mic.
yeah,
You know, like Rod Wave and some of these other cats, like niggas is really Honeycomb Bray, like niggas is really on the mic depressed.
mm-hmm.
You know, like man, like I mean, I guess it's good on one hand that ain't everybody trying to play like they some invincible Superman, but
Right.
but on the other hand, okay, you was depressed on the first album, right?
Mhm.
But now you got money, hoes, opportunity. You got all that good shit,
Right.
nigga. I know you ain't still depressed on album number 3.
Yeah.
Like, remember Mary J. Blige was depressed, and then she made an album that was like, man,
Yeah.
ain't no hateration in this dancery. And
Yeah.
some of her core fans, though, was like, you even sometimes hear women say, well, I like depressed Mary better.
Yeah.
I be like, I like all versions of Mary, but
when that
yeah,
song
I want
came
her to
on,
get
it
money
was
version.
different though. That dum, 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 dum.
Yeah.
That's that upbeat, soulful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to marry, I'm not gonna cry.
Right. And it's just
They
like
be wanting that heartbreak that we want
Right.
to know the pain.
But I don't
you
want her to
went
go
through.
through 10 years of heartbreak.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I want her to
People can't
enjoy
be
that
happy.
money, man.
Yeah.
Okay, you cried in the Buick. You in the Bentley now. Come on, girl. Push that line.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. And then like, see, another part of soulful music to me, like back in the day, a lot of art. It was okay. So it's okay to not be a gangster. Like it's okay to like. There's a way to deliver hip hop, right? So I'm trying to get these kids to say like I got a line where I say I made $6 million off of MacBook Pro. Okay,
Mhm.
the whole point of that is you can. It's cool to. It's okay, bro. If you like 98% of kids don't live in the hood. Like y'all living off in the
Right.
suburbs
Mhm.
and or somewhere in between the hood, because a lot of the hoods ain't really hoods no more. But anyway, that's.
Gentrification.
But I'm just saying. So right. So I just feel like it's okay to be
yourself.
yourselves. Like it's
Mhm.
okay to make money off streaming and to make money off of doing stuff that's legal instead of just like always feeling like
too
oh
cool
I'm
for
hard.
school now.
Right.
You know?
I gotta be the
Everybody's a
ultimate hustler.
gangster.
Right.
Everybody is, they,
Everybody hard. Everybody got 50 million bricks and
Everybody's
money in the
pimping.
shoebox.
Right.
You take a woman on a date, you simping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody come to you and say, man, they about to cut my phone off, you tricking, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, you can't be simping and tricking if you ain't pimping. It's opposites.
Mhm.
So I think there's a lot of young dudes out here really missing out on good quality women because they trying to hold some standard that some rapper,
Unattainable measures.
that's rapper done told them this the way to go, and
Yeah.
and he actually blowing 40 G's at the strip club.
Right.
Like an idiot. Like an idiot.
You over here not helping the girl who'll hit backflips for you with her Metro bill because you don't want to be tricking.
Ain't a
And
tax
he
write off.
And he over
Unless
here
you have a business meeting.
and he
there.
over here blowing his whole advance in the strip club.
It's not a tax write off unless you have a business meeting.
Don't listen to these rappers, man. They will have you going out sad.
Right. And so that's the whole point. Like that's why the album's called Reverse Engineering, is because
Right.
I'm trying to reverse. I'm trying to get people to understand, like to get out of a mind state and to get back to having fun with music and
Mhm.
There you go.
and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So, I understand what it is to be from the hood, but do we have to use that as the best representation of ourselves?
At all times.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, the idea is to get out of the hood and to get your ass in the suburbs and to get into that fat house in the cuts. Like, so
Yeah.
when you get there, you should be talking about that. I know I'm from the hood. Okay, what about all the other shit life has to offer?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole kind of theme, and hopefully, for me, it's been a role because I'm more conscious about my lyrics because I do have a professional life outside of music, and
Mhm.
so I try to tailor this album where it's not a lot of whole bunch of cussing in it from me. You know, my features, they do what they do. Like, I don't restrict artists, but for me, for my representation, you know, I'm trying to just be more of a leader, man, with this shit, and like really try to take it back to another place, man, because, man, it's a lot of rappers, man, out here that could do so much more if they just opened up their mind and stopped rapping about the same 5 topics.
Yeah, that's the thing with today's music. Everybody sounds the same. It's like it's 5 styles of rap right now that everybody use, and don't get me wrong, some of the shit be knocking. It be cool, you know. I mean, the club shit to get your ear, but of course, me, I prefer lyrics over the beat. Don't get me wrong, the beat is moves the nation. But if you can have a slapping ass beat and be talking about garbage, and today's music, too many people worry about being popular instead of talent. You know, it used to be a time where if you didn't have the talent, you weren't pushed.
Right.
And double-edged sword, you know, now you got, and some of, you know, a lot of people, the purists or the real people who enjoy and love the essence of the genuine culture, you got so much fluff that's promoted and pushed nowadays because everybody sounds so cookie cutter.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, in our era, you couldn't sound like nobody else.
Right. People would dismiss it like, oh man, they sound just like.
Yeah.
Man.
I ain't gonna lie. And now, I listen to my son, his music, and he's just, you know, he's 13, but I be like, dude, the last 5 dudes, I keep having to look up at the display to see, like, and it's a different name every time. I'm like, dude, he sound just like dude who came on. But you know, to me, it's a like you always say, a double-edged sword, because so for one, you don't even need nobody to put out music. I mean, you can record at your house and you can put it out at your house. You know what I'm saying? And so people was able to get popular or known just without filters. So I think that's the positive side of it. Right. But at the same time,
you can get around the gatekeepers a lot easier.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. But
the attention to but the gatekeepers and the A&R did have one good purpose that is missing.
Development.
Exactly.
Artist development.
And you see it. That, you know, cats do interviews. I seen one interview with this one youngster, and he was literally nodding in the interview. Like, I'm like, where's his handlers at? Because handlers supposed to say, oh, blood just came down with the stomach flu. Like, you know, let your dude get on there looking like a junkie. He just came down with the stomach flu. We got to reschedule.
Yeah, I seen a clip of some artists. It was somebody's podcast or something. These cats interviewing. These fools started doing lines during the end. I'm like, what the fuck is...
Like, who is...
I'm like, where...
It's like that Geico monkey commercial.
Where...
Like, nigga, who's in charge?
What the fuck? I'm like... And it's that thing to where... Is anybody... Motherfuckers is doing anything to go viral or to get to... You know, and it's a sad state of affairs.
Right now, like, while we talking, I just go it on right here on camera
and just
hit a bump.
I don't know these brothers.
Y'all gotta take
me
to rehab,
like,
man. That's the nigga with a problem.
I'm like, bruh, this is...
Niggas ain't even go to the bathroom. Niggas on camera. Hold on, hold that thought.
Business is business. I'm like, you gotta... All that shit is forever.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like you said, A&R or just somebody, even an uncle or somebody... in your corner, in your ear, to be like, bro, when you in public, you know, this because you a business, you a brand. No matter if, and this is to anybody and everybody, even if your lyrics are trash, you're still a brand. Just improve on.
Need good managers in the game.
You do.
Like the boy Jay say, I'm not a businessman. I'm a
businessman. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so shout out to you, Flodge, for the album. I'm looking forward to hearing it, listening to it.
Speaking of business, I've been all on Twitter, man, and I've been seeing some of these cats on their tap dancing talking about that the sister should go ahead on and let that girl Caitlin Clark drop 30 and not foul her and be thankful. And the only thing I can say to that is as popular as Caitlin Clark was, LSU and South Carolina have won the last 2 national championships, and both those teams play the sold-out arenas. And the number one girl off of LSU was Angel Reese. Mm-hmm. The number one girl off of South Carolina, which went 37-0, was that Camilo Cardoso. Beach. And they're both them teams. So y'all trying to say nobody's tuning into the WNBA to see them? They got this girl Aja Wilson.
Oh,
she's averaging 26 and 13.
Female Jordan.
She done won. She's the only person winning the MVP, Finals MVP, lead the league in scoring, and win Defensive Player of the Year, and won the championship all in 1 year. That's a level of dominance that they didn't even do back in the Wilt Chamberlain days. Y'all don't think nobody tuning in to see her? Like, come on, man. You know, the girl Caitlin Clark doing thing, and then they had this one sister who gave her a little cheap shot, right?
Yeah.
But the cheap shot was actually in retaliation for an elbow on the other end. Yeah. I saw people on Twitter talking about the girl should have been arrested.
Well,
charged with assault.
Well, I'll say this because we all know what it really is.
Yeah.
It's that bullshit.
Complexion protection.
Exactly. It's that pilgrim mentality of, it's a story because they wanted her to be the Michael Jordan, or for you new niggas, LeBron of the WNBA. And she is not that. I'm sorry. Let's call it what it is.
She might grow into that, but
she has some talent. I'm not knocking none of that. But when you have the machine pushing you so hard, and with the known the shit that's known to the world and the public that's knowing the bullshit. Like I said, she has talent. I'm not knocking her talent.
And she might eventually develop into what they want her to be right now.
They pushing because they need it to be somebody, and they want it to be her. But I think the WNBA as a whole fucked up. They should have promoted the whole class.
Right.
Because this WNBA class that just came in is talent.
And I'm gonna speak on the other hidden elephant in the room. Besides, they want old girl because she's got the complexion to the protection, right? Mm-hmm. Back in the days when the WNBA first started, I'm old enough to remember, and people were excited. And people were taking their families out there. And then suddenly people stopped coming, and one of the things that was said was, you don't want to grab your daughters to go see this women's basketball, and everybody out there looking like a dude. Mm-hmm. Regardless of whatever the actual sexuality was, everybody was out there looking like dudes. You had chicks with shaved head. You had really, it was, you know what I'm saying? If your daughter is going to grow to be whatever, it is what it is. But I'm damn sure not going to put her in environments that necessarily encourage that. So people kind of forgot about WNBA because it was just a bunch of... This year's class and the last couple, like when you look at the chicks that's been dominating the last couple of years, like the Aja Wilsons and Candace Parkers and all that, them chicks look like they're off the runway. Well, damn near, when you look at the lottery this year, the top 10 picks, about 8 of them look like Raquel Jackson, Angel Reese, even the white chick Cameron Brink. They look like they finna hit the runway.
You got some nice looking sisters.
So now, if you're a father and your daughters is pumped about that, you don't mind taking them out there because it's a more pleasing aesthetic. It's they out there playing hard, they throwing bows, they hacking, they playing hard, but they still feminine. They still women. But they damn near taking each other's head off so you can show your daughter, okay, you can be tough, you can be a competitor, and you don't have to dress like Uncle Percy.
Right.
And so that's another reason why they should have promoted the whole class, because now it's a variety of women across a variety of teams that you can say, okay, the stigma that the league used to have
Marketing dropped the ball.
It's over. But they concentrated all the energy on this one girl, and it created a backlash.
Yeah.
But I'm also,
right.
I
seen that.
You know why I'm so disappointed in Charles Barkley? Because Charles Barkley is one of the ones,
biggest hater in the world.
But here's the thing: he was one of the ones talking about how they basically should let the girl get down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when Kobe had that 80-point game, and Charles Barkley said he wouldn't have got 81 with me on the court, still with fouls to give. But I'm just saying, with fouls to give, what he meant, what he would have hacked the nigga, he would have did something. He wasn't just gonna let the nigga score.
Right.
But now you turn around telling these girls that they need to let this girl score. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you know good and well when you was playing, you was like, shit, if he would have got 80, he wouldn't have got that 80 with me, still with fouls to give.
Right. Exactly.
We'd had to foul out the game for him to get that. Meaning y'all would have brought the hammer. Michael Jordan was literally the face of the NBA. The shoes, everything.
He got molested.
For years.
No diddy.
Teams made the
they
Jordan
made it
rules.
A point to physically accost that man.
The ball could be over here. He over here. It's a nigga hitting him.
Getting hacked and even with Shaq, the hacking Shaq, all that.
Man,
dominant forces
whole
make
team
a way.
Strategy. Because that's one of the things about sports, and especially something like they saying, let this girl shine, right? What better way for her to shine is if she dropping 30 and niggas is hacking her. Now you know she's the truth. You knew Shaq was one of the greatest of all time because you saw motherfuckers karate chopping this nigga when he got the ball.
Right.
No attempt at defense.
Earn your shit. You know, she just great talent. And the thing too is, and I don't know the sister's name, so pardon my mind, but they made it such a big deal how Caitlin Clark is the highest scoring. She has a scoring leader in college history and all that. Mm-hmm. That's not the truth.
Right. There was a sister there.
There's a sister before it came NCAA. There's a sister who actually has the record
and didn't have a 3-point shot.
Right. So y'all stop buying into today's press because.
And you want to hear the extra funny thing is the girl down there at USC, Juju Watkins,
is a beast.
Scored more points than Caitlin Clark did her freshman year. If Juju Watkins stays on this pace, she'll break Caitlin's record by the time she's a senior. So it's not like what Caitlin Clark did was some untouchable thing. Like for instance, it's gonna be like where LeBron got the all-time record right now, still adding to it.
But even LeBron,
a youngster gonna have to be able to come and do 20 years of what they doing now to even make a run at it, and that's not even realistic. Or like what's this? If anybody knows baseball,
I was gonna go to that.
There's one untouchable record, and there's two untouchable records in baseball. One of them is that 56 game hitting streak.
Joe DiMaggio.
No one, man. I think the closest anybody ever came in 30 years was somebody hit 40 games.
40 something. Yeah,
I mean, but realistically, to hit say for 56 games,
straight.
56 games. It's just a lot of cats don't even play 56 straight games. You take a game off, but that record is almost untouchable. And Ricky Henderson's stolen base record.
Oh, that ain't going. That's gone. That's nope. Unless they start counting doubles and say that's a single with a stolen base. Nobody's touching that.
Right.
Now, speaking of baseball, one of the great things and this is once again that Pilgrim community pandering to the melanated community. You know they integrated the Negro League
so
stats.
Josh Gibson is the all-time home run leader
Because that league, I'm gonna just say this: the separation was great for us.
Integration killed the Negro
League.
We
was doing our thing. We had our own shit, and I'm gonna give Major League Baseball, and there's a reason behind it all. You know that that they actually included it.
I mean, in the inner cities, baseball is dead,
and because what has Major League Baseball did for the last 20-something plus years?
Any 30 black years. That was on there that came from the Caribbean.
Right, they went to these islands, these other, and that's no knock to none of them because it's pure talent out there.
Well, if you're a black American and you dominate in high school ball and you get ready to get drafted, they got to give you a certain level on the signing bonus. Or I could go get this kid out the Dominican and give him
or somewhere
$2,000.
Right, and he's like, I'm sending that to my mom, my family. Which, hey, I'm not knocking none of that because the conditions they live in.
Right. I saw one dude. They drafted him. They put him in an apartment with some pilgrims. Right.
Yeah.
He don't know English.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing he know is hamburger and fries.
Mm-hmm.
So for the whole season, all he ate was hamburger and fries because that's the only thing he knew. He knew how to order when they went to restaurants.
Yeah.
That's the type of player that Major League Baseball has invested in and developed.
Yeah.
And now they look up and say, black people don't play, man, because you put nothing into the inner cities.
Think about it. You can get out of high school, you can get $1 million signing bonus out of high school and go to college. Baseball is, once again, you guys can debate it all you want, but baseball is one of the greatest sports because it's the It's the only sport where you can fail 7 times out of 10 and be considered great. Mm-hmm. Any other sport, you're fucking washed.
And here go the whopper
That's
about
because it ain't easy.
But here go the whopper. Another whopper about baseball. Isn't a white dude actually told me this? Because back in the days when they used to talk about what about Josh Gibson and somebody said, well, the Negro Leagues, Josh Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
A white dude told me, said, you do know that in the off season, the major league players would barnstorm against the Negro Leagues. Mm-hmm. And Josh Gibson murdered all of them too.
Same with Satchel Paige.
He said all the top, and that's what he brought up. He said all the top pitchers. He said all the top pitchers in Major League Baseball would go play against Josh Gibson in the offseason, and he would not. And then he said Satchel Paige would mow them down. Satchel Paige was actually in his 50s when he got to Major League Baseball and was still dominant. So imagine what he would have did. So Josh Gibson's numbers are legit because he did the same thing playing against all-star teams of major leaguers that he did against Negro Leagues.
Right. Same with, like you said, Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige was 50-something, played for the A's, 50-something plus years old, and threw 3 shutout innings his last game.
And they're like 58?
50, yeah, he was down there 60. He was 50, he was up there.
So imagine what he would have did at 29 against them dudes. He might have did some records. He was like, what's the that they named the pitcher, the award after? Cy Young. Satchel Paige would have did some shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude say the only major leaguer, this is a funny thing, the only major leaguer that when they would play the Negro League teams, the only one who would dominate was Babe Ruth. But here goes the secret about Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth's a nigga.
Exactly. Exactly.
Y'all didn't know?
Babe Ruth was up there passing.
That's some
he
shit
was one
you
of the
get
ones
3
with
in
the
the
pass,
morning.
and he was passing.
You better check your history.
Sometimes they would describe him saying that the Babe had a healthy tan. Babe Ruth wasn't tan. Babe Ruth was in this line. And speaking of that, did you see what these dumbasses on Twitter doing? Jason Kidd ain't black.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Because they saying this is only the second time 2 black coaches been in the finals. Yeah. And motherfuckers was saying,
third.
Jason Kidd's not actually black.
It's the 3rd time.
Yeah. So they had to bring back pictures of him in high school with the flat top and the afro, like. But yeah, they really is on Twitter talking about Jason Kidd ain't black.
Shout out to Jason Kidd, man. Salute, respect, man. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. As a coach, I'm a Warrior fan. Y'all. Mm-hmm. I prefer the West to win. I really don't care. But I there's a part of me from the town.
As long as it ain't the Clippers. Fuck the Clippers.
Yeah, fuck the Clippers. But I'm gonna keep it real. As a town brother, I would love to see Jason Kidd get a ring as a coach.
That would be nice.
Just as from Oakland.
I pretty much, if push come to shove, I support everything from the West except
Warriors and 5.
Except the Clippers.
And the Lakers.
Fuck the Clippers.
And fuck the Kings.
And fuck the Niners.
Oh, fuck the Niners all day.
Present company excluded.
Yeah. Fuck the Niners.
The cranberry and butterscotch. Present company excluded.
Yeah, fuck them. What else was going on? We had that Deontay Wilder fight.
Poor Wilder. He's done.
Hey, matter of fact, it's speaking of
you see his trainer? His trainer was on OnlyFans.
Damn.
That's why they was like, this nigga got an OnlyFans.
His trainer was on OnlyFans.
Yes, his trainer, the dude that trains him now.
Yeah.
Blood also got a side career. He got this flabby chick And they got hella piercings and tattoos, and they make OnlyFans content. So somebody finally put on Twitter like, "This is why Wilder wasn't prepared. His coach is on OnlyFans."
Damn.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That's
Wilder is getting 10 million whatever per fight, right?
that's wild.
It's a brand. You the trainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, how much money is you making on OnlyFans? And that's what niggas said that you know, because Wilder got accused of some crazy shit. With his brother's girlfriend and some other shit, so
I ain't hear all that.
Right, so it's like, oh, these niggas was two pervs.
Yeah.
Two pervs over there, that's why Wilder ain't.
Oh.
But
I
damn.
will say this. Looking at Wilder
get away with
as
that
No,
a
you can't.
melanated, you know,
Not
man,
on putting it online.
his whole, I remember he was talking about he got into boxing so he can secure a future for his family.
He did
and
that.
that was honest and respectable, and I
I love
that.
Salute.
I love that. And now, I hope, brother, you made enough money, you secured some things. I don't want to. This is coming from a brother. I don't want to see you get abused in this sport, because sports is a farce. And the handlers in sports will have you out to pasture.
They're marching you out there one more time.
Way before your time, you should be put out to pasture, but they will have you out at pasture way after you should have been already out to pasture. They still have you doing shit like halfway of a segue, that Tyson shit that's coming up with the other
This
pill.
man got ulcerative colitis. You can't fight with that. Who the fuck is approving this shit?
And once again, I'm one of the big Tyson fans, because Tyson was a purist. He come from that era, and I just hate to see this man be used.
I need to know who's sanctioning that fight, because they need
I hate to see that, because don't get me wrong, we just saw footage of Tyson, what was it, a couple of years ago, whatnot, training and doing shit, and we like, nigga, he still will fuck you up, which I'm not fighting Tyson right now. And I don't get me wrong, I got a fucked up shoulder, but I'm like, nah, bro, it's good, we ain't arguing, fuck that, it's good. But I still hate to see if this brother is being manipulated or used. Tyson, don't come trying to bite me in no shit.
Again, it's fuck Don King, because Mike Tyson be sitting on damn near $1 billion.
Speaking of only in America, that nigga, you got Broner fighting tonight against the nigga that looked like
Blair Cobbs.
Too Sweet.
Nigga
look like roll bounce niggas.
Yeah.
Broner fighting tonight.
Broner's another cat that really should have been a much bigger.
He was supposed to have been the second coming to Mayweather, and what happens? Here's the thing, and let's keep it a buck. What happens with us? We can have all the tools. You can be a 5-tool, and y'all that play sports and know sports know exactly what I'm saying. You can be a 5-tool athlete. And that's rare. That's what you consider a blue chip. You can have everything going for you, and the world is handed to you damn near. You know, whether it's women, drugs, get away with shit, and niggas let their ego get in the way of what they doing, because piss poor performance is what happens when you don't properly prepare, right?
I'm gonna say something controversial.
Do it.
When it comes to actual natural talent, like having explosive, fast twitch, and this and that, Broner actually was greater. Broner was actually greater than Floyd. Floyd didn't actually have the hand speed and explosive power that he did. But the secret to Floyd, though, is that him and Broner would go to the club together. Mm-hmm. Floyd don't actually drink.
Right.
Broner be in the club getting fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd is
having
there with him.
Videotaping shit.
But Floyd ain't drinking. Then Floyd would leave the club and go do road work. Broner would go
and fuck 3 bitches.
Right. And then he started, and when he was fighting scrubs,
Renee was
25-0 and he looked marvelous. Mm-hmm. But when he really started getting to that upper echelon of other cats who actually don't drink, who actually do their road work, who actually do their drills, he couldn't overcome, and that's how he went from being the next Floyd to
America's Got Talent.
He could have been much better.
Right.
Because on natural talent, you can, even in a sport like boxing, or in any sport, if you got those 5 tools, when any sport like that, You can make it to a certain level just on ability. If anybody's ever been around anybody that has made it to a professional level, you know that even when y'all just fucking around, their speed, their strength, their shit, we joking. Nigga out there basketball, he take 2 steps and he dunked the fucking ball, and you be sitting there like, this nigga can't even hoop. So anybody's ever been around somebody that actually had the physical ability, you'll know that there's really is a gap between normal people and that.
Hey, right.
But when you match it, everybody has that ability.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When everybody is the rawest nigga ever from where they from.
Right.
What they say when they recruit you in football,
he said, you the illest nigga in Indiana or whatever.
When they used to say in football coming out of high school, like, oh, he's a dude that makes people miss, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll go get a linebacker and say, he's the dude that hits the dude that makes other people miss. That talent level. Like you said, dude in high school ball, you run for 2,000 yards, you think he probably greatest ever. Yeah. And by the time he's a senior, he's coming off in college, he's just coming off the bench.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you
styles make fights.
So Broner's talent got him to a certain point where people are like, ooh, he didn't exploit.
Yeah.
But when he got to the other cats that could match his speed, could match his reflexes, but they was in the gym. They went to bed at 9 o'clock. They got up. They only got a wife. They ain't having threesomes every night. They ain't drinking. He can't beat them.
Having chicks in the ring, brushing their hair and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the humbly cocky shit, even though that's my term. Y'all know that, humbly cocky.
No, bro ain't humbly cocky.
And yeah, he's not. He's the opposite of that.
He's just straight cocky.
Who is that?
Broner.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't get me wrong. When Broner was out, I was like, dude, good. Because I was like, man, that's talent. Don't get me wrong. There is talent. There's God-given. There's regular people, and there's people who I'm not going to ever tell somebody not to do something.
He lost $1 million. I seen one video where he was arguing with his girl, and he got hella mad. And he's on the Vegas Strip, and he just started stomping. And there was a dude walking, and he just cracked blood. Like blood was just walking down the street. Yeah. And Broner was, I guess he was not wanting to hit his girl, so he got frustrated and looked around like, I got to hit somebody. Yeah. And here's the dude walking with his hands pocket. Broner sleeps him.
Wow.
He had to pay blood $1 million. And then he lost money on taxes. So the next 2 fights after that, he had fought. He actually didn't even get no purse. It all went to the lawsuit and IRS.
So, yeah, you got that tonight, which, Broner's fighting some guy tonight. And even the press conference and Don Kingston, once again, let me just say this hold on. I don't know how the fuck this old ass
got to be 90.
Mumra from Thundercats ass nigga is still anything to do with boxing. This nigga shouldn't even be able to put an Amazon box together and ship this shit. I'm joking, but I'm just really asking y'all a serious question. How is this motherfucker even anywhere near boxing still? I don't know.
I'm going to tell y'all the true story right
And he's gangster. Don't get me wrong. I respect that Don King's gangster.
Oh, he's beyond gangster.
But I would just think that by now he'd be like, nigga, I'm somewhere. The old dudes, like, I'll be like, nigga, I'm the old dudes on the Muppets just sitting up there watching.
Vampire. That's how he stayed living, by sucking the blood. There was a champion in the 80s named Tim Witherspoon.
Oh, I remember
Tim Witherspoon signed to fight Frank Bruno. And they was both supposed to get $1 million.
True that.
They was both supposed to get $1 million. Well, Bruno wouldn't sign with Don King. So Bruno got his check for the $1 million. Witherspoon signed with Don King. So when his check for the $1 million came, Don King said there's some expenses. Out of $1 million, they gave Witherspoon $75,000. Don King whooped that boy check for $925,000 in expenses. Then after he sued Don King. They was in court for hella years because Don kept filing appeals and this and that. And so finally, when they settled, Don gave him another 100 G's, like 4 or 5 years later. And Witherspoon never got another shot at the title. Whereas he beat Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno got to fight Tyson, which was the big money fight, twice after that. Witherspoon never got a shot at it. But out of $1 million check, Don King handed that man less than 10% of the check and said, we had a few expenses. Witherspoon is a Philly nigga, heavyweight champ. You think, like, you shouldn't play with a nigga like that, right?
Right.
Shit, Don King played with him, played right. As was the youngsters say, he played in his face.
Man, but see, and that's the thing about that though is,
hey Tommy,
Dom, he really could have been. He could have been on top of the whole sport, like a real king right now.
like Al Heyman.
If
She's sporting the James gang no more.
If he would have just kept it a buck with everybody, and just if he would have took less money at that time to be like a respectable businessman and just do shit right, he would still be on top.
But some cats is deviant to the point where they'd rather bleed you for a nickel than make a real dollar.
Yeah.
They would really, like, it's almost like they get a kick out of fucking people over.
And that's the cold, ill shit about it. I mean, sports, like I said, I sit and talk and know some shit, but I'll never bet on sports because sports is a farce. You got that y'all watched the Showtime series Ray Donovan, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Ray Donovan was a great series because
the first season is really
there's some shit even the other seasons that I can relate to some real life, and I was like, these niggas is telling some stories on some shit.
They slip.
Very much so. Shit has always slipped in, but
think some of that shit was true stories just changed around a little bit.
You got to. If I write a book, Confessions of a Phone, man, y'all never mind. That's another story. But I'm just saying, it's some real shit. Sports, people get put on so much and they buy into their own press clippings like Broner has in the past. Like, remember Maidana put his ass to test. You know, same with who else gave him the business. There's a few people that gave Broner the business, and I think it was because, and once again,
Sean Porter roughed him up pretty good too.
I like Broner when he started because I was like, man, there's talent. Don't get me wrong.
And he was a personality.
Yeah, pure talent. And you just hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard.
Facts.
That's all I'm going to say.
And especially in sports like
exactly,
boxing,
Ivory. I will never
wrestling.
bet on sports. I can know what's going to happen and I still won't bet on it.
I think I kind of lost. So I followed him. I watched him when he first had his first. Most of these fighters, I've seen them when they first 2-3 fights, if not the first 10. But I seen him in his first couple professional fights, and one thing that just turned me off is like all the showboating. It's fun and entertaining, but it make you just want to see somebody knock that
him the
nigga
fuck
out.
I don't like seeing talented fighters showboating against scrubs.
Right.
That's lame.
Yeah, that's lame too.
That's lame.
Right.
But I think for me, knowing that you in a sport where one punch can knock you out.
All it takes is
and
a shot.
for you to be doing that is like, dude, you don't think you acting like you ain't gonna never.
So you
hit
start
the
praying that he just, if only they could get that one on his ass.
Even if
Broner
they
is
hit him
funny
just
as
to
hell.
see how he act when he punch drunk, just to see. And I see he didn't when Maidana was tearing his ass up. Boy, that boy looked like he wanted to start crying. He was
that wasn't part of the plan.
He was asking the ref for help. Come on, man.
Another example of that, you guys remember this when Zab Judah fought Costa Zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Costa caught him.
Right.
Yeah.
He caught him.
That boy Zab said, what Cedric say? Don't play with matches.
Yeah. Caught him. And it was like, oh, shit. You know, it was like, damn.
I seen a lot. Remember Amir Khan? Remember how
Yes.
cocky he used to be?
Yeah. Matter of fact, shit. Remember Prince Asim?
Nassim,
He was undefeated
Prince
and
Nassim was
got hands put on him and never heard from his ass
Yeah,
again.
he was done. I seen a picture of him, dude, like 200-some pounds. Like, he like, you know, he hella short. He like this wide.
Yeah, he's somewhere probably owning hella convenience stores, and you'll never know it was him. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm just saying that shit's funny. I'm looking forward to see what happened tonight with Broner's fight. I'm not. Hopefully that shit ain't paid. That shit better be on.
No, I think it's on
Channel
ESPN,
9.
man.
I think it already came on.
Yeah,
to be honest.
that
No,
shit-
you know, on ESPN or something?
It better be on
They
Channel
had it on
9.
The barbershop earlier. It might have been the pre-fight stuff.
Oh, okay, that shit better be on free access. You better be able to watch that shit with rabbit ears. But I'm just
In fact,
saying.
Rona better send me $5 for watching.
And
For all
speaking
the
of,
pay-per-view bread I done blew on him.
yeah. And speaking of boxing, you got Tank finna fight the one brother.
Frank Martin.
Yeah, that I'm looking forward
Who's
to that.
fighting tomorrow? Ain't it a fight tomorrow? I heard it was a big fight tomorrow.
I know it's that them what's the boy out of Stockton? Nate Diaz. He fighting.
UFC?
The Masvidal. No, they fighting in boxing.
Yeah.
They finna box. They had a big fight at the weigh-in or something today.
Oh.
Or yesterday they had a big ass brawl at the press conference. 2-3 people got bloodied. It was some.
Damn.
It was some. It's on YouTube. It was some wild shit.
Yeah, Zab was a beast, but Zab got caught.
But the next really big actual fight though is the Tank and Frank Martin.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Man, just the price.
Benavidez is on
the too high.
Benavidez is co-main eventing that. Benavidez.
I hope he win by knockout, so that way they can one more time they can be like Canelo, Benavidez looking for you.
And dude, because remember Canelo just fought, and I watched that shit, and I was like, okay,
Canelo getting old.
Yeah, but the thing is,
he's not old age wise, but he's had about 60
boxing.
fights.
He's boxing old.
Wait, Tyson is fighting in November?
They pushed this shit back.
He got ulcerated like an ulcer colitis. You can't fight with no condition like that, especially at 57 years old.
Yeah.
Like, he'll be 58, I think, actually, by the time the fight happened.
I think
that's
too,
bananas.
Hey, right.
Hey,
Ivory got a point. Ivory said it's crazy how the smaller weight class is a bigger ticket than the heavyweights now.
Because there's a lot of cats that probably should be heavyweight champions. They're playing tight end and power forward.
Right. It's you look at boxing because remember you had when our age growing up you had the Sugar Rays and the Hagglers and the Hearns, and then even a little older that Super 6 tournament was the fucking ultimate.
Shout out to Andre Ward.
Yeah, shout out to that.
And he was not the favorite to win that.
He wasn't, but that's the shit we need to see. And don't get me wrong, you got Crawford in talks to probably fight Canelo soon.
I need Spence back. Spence back.
Yeah, Spence. Shout out to Spence. Spence got a fight coming up. It's some lucrative shit out there right now.
It's boxing season.
It's some good shit that's out there.
But the thing is that when you look at Wilder at 6'7", the way he's dropping that hammer, and then you look at Tyson Fury at like 6'9", you start looking and you start thinking, there's some 6'6" to 6'9" cats in the NBA, and there's some 6'6" tight ends and shit like that probably is even better athletes than them dudes that if they would have went into boxing as teenagers, you know what I'm saying? So our best talent that would be heavyweights now is literally playing power forward. Or they playing tight end or defensive end.
Well, like I say, that to me, so, when we was youngsters at heavyweight, that was like the shit. That was like the coup de grace of like the middle was the heavyweights, then the middleweights and the welterweights, or vice versa between them two.
And if it was a featherweight, it had to be a raw motherfucker, like a Prince Nassim. He had to be knocking motherfuckers off, putting on the show.
And then, go ahead.
But I was just gonna say, I've been saying it. Them big ass dudes They need a in between weight class, like
because dude Wilder fought was 280, right?
Yeah, so it's
that fucking 70-pound difference
or whatever to all the way up until whatever. So when Tyson was fighting, it was a good handful of 6 foot something motherfuckers. But then once what's bro with the dreads? The Klitschko brothers, and Lennox, and dominated it, bro. You can't be
6'1", 200,
6'1", or my size, 200 pounds, like
because remember Tyson not
and
6
be
feet.
fighting a dude that's 6'6", 6'7", bro. It's just
it's training down to 250.
And I'm saying, so every other weight class is what, like 5 pounds difference, but you got one that could be 100 and something pounds difference.
Yeah, because Wilder was like,
215, 216.
Dude was 280.
280, 270,
And even Fury came in, Fury was like 260, and Usyk was like 223. It's like, come on, man, the size of these dudes nowadays is ridiculous.
Right. And I feel like that's the problem with sports. And not all sports, because I see basketball and football have adapted and changed a lot over the years, right? Whether you think it's good or bad, whatever.
Well,
but
they're constantly
going in, and I think the evolution of boxing will be better if they put some common sense into this shit and just said, look, we're gonna have a separate class for motherfuckers 6'3" and up, or 6'4" and up. If you between 6'4", I don't care how much you weigh, because what difference do it make? You could be 5'9" and fighting a nigga 6'6". So at least try to get somebody with the same reach. You know what I'm saying? Because Tyson wasn't gonna dominate, dude. I love Tyson. He's one of my favorite fighters of all times. But Tyson was not gonna get up there and beat up the Klitschko brothers and Lennox Lewis and all them.
If you go back and look at fights with him against Bone Crusher, who was 6'4", against Tony Tucker, who was 6'5", they kind of tied him up and controlled him pretty easy.
Yeah.
And them cats was, Bone Crusher was 230 and that. So if you can imagine what cats they height or taller, who's also 255, this and that, Tyson would have had a real problem even getting off on them dudes.
It's just physics, man. It's just, so the thing with that was that he could drop you quick. He could drop anybody. I don't care if he could reach your chin. But what happens?
But dropping 225-pound guys, and dropping 255-pound guys is a different world.
Right.
Even if you're more talented than the 255-pound guy, faster and more explosive, his pure size and mass. It's an uphill battle for you.
Well, I'm just saying, so a lot of them developed that style against Tyson where they would just grab him and fall on him on the ropes. Right. Now, you got somebody 250 pounds falling on you on the ropes. You tired. You got to get this dude off you and then try to... It's just, you just seeing it just through his whole game.
And a lot of people say, oh, Klitschko, this and that, right? People don't realize.
Klitschko was a jabbing machine, but
boxing,
if you caught him, it was a wrap.
But see, here's the thing. That's what point I was going to say. There was two eras for Klitschko. There was one era in the beginning of Klitschko's career where he would jab and then he would brawl, and he got caught a couple times and put out. When he started training with Emmanuel Stewart, and Emmanuel Stewart taught him to just simply... You stay behind the jab. And you stay behind the jab even if it takes 8-9 rounds. And you don't open up until the other dude is thoroughly beat by the jab. Klitschko became pretty much unbeatable at that point. Because but people were saying he was boring because he was jabbing for 8-9 rounds. But that was Emmanuel Stewart was like, this is the safest.
He was like, fuck
but that was because that was what Stewart was told him. If they do manage to get past the jab, you time up, let the referee reset y'all.
And then jab his ass
that version of Klitschko was damn near unbeatable, and that's the same shit he taught Lennox Lewis. Stay behind the jab. The early version of Klitschko that would kind of open up and try to really fight.
Knocked out.
Tyson probably could have caught him in the exchanges because Tyson was faster. But the older version of Klitschko that Emmanuel Stewart was training, he just would have held Tyson at the end of that jab and just won a decision.
Tyson would have had the younger version of Klitschko looking like Soda Popinski.
But the mature version of Klitschko that was with Emmanuel Stewart, as great as Tyson was, he wouldn't have had no problem with Tyson if he'd have stayed disciplined behind Emmanuel Stewart. Because at the end of the day, Klitschko's 6'6". And staying behind the jab. It's just, so it's like
sticking to the fundamentals.
So it's like Tyson's one of the greatest punchers of all time, and he was blazing fast for a puncher. If niggas opened up and tried to fight him, he got a good chance of finishing it. But if you fight smart, well, you're 6 inches taller than him and 40, 50 pounds higher. And for anybody to be like, Tyson used to fight them big dudes. No, if you actually go back on the weights, the biggest dudes Tyson was fighting was 229, 230. That was the biggest dudes that Tyson was actually fighting. Niggas now is 250 plus in shape. Because if you look at some of those dudes that Tyson was fighting that was 225, they had guts, pipe cleaner arms, So it's a different level of athlete. Now, that don't take away from Tyson's greatness because you can only fight the dudes that's in front of you. He did his thing. He's obviously one of the greatest punchers. And if he came along today, he put a lot of dudes to sleep. But them bigger dudes like the Furies, the Joshuas, this and that, if they fight disciplined against him, he's not going to beat him. That doesn't take away from his greatness. It's just the game has evolved. The game has evolved. Just like I'm going to say something that niggas might dispute. If you really look at Michael Jordan from 1989 and 1990, look at how he moved, look at how his jumper, look at all that shit like that. That dude ain't dropping no 30-40 against these dudes nowadays. He's still being an elite player because of his physical ability. his end-to-end speed, his vertical, how relentless he is,
His
how dedicated he is
basketball
to the
IQ.
craftness. But I'm just saying, though, is that when he was playing in the finals and Hersey Hawkins was guarding him, who's 6'3", 180, and was slow, or Jeff Hornacek, who was 6'4", you know, them dudes guarding him is a whole lot different game than Kawhi Leonard. Than Kawhi Leonard, who's Kawhi Leonard, who's 6'7", 230, and can move.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that Michael Jordan wouldn't get his, because it's Michael Jordan. He is one of the
his.
greatest. But dropping 40 on Jeff Hornacek ain't the same as dropping 40 on Kawhi Leonard or Paul George.
Right.
It's not the same, because these dudes are
Kawhi Leonard.
bigger, stronger, and faster than those dudes that he was playing against. Like I said, he'll still get his, but because he's a true talent.
Yeah.
But every night he stepped on the court in 1991, he was the fastest, most explosive, highest vertical dude, and he was playing against dudes who literally, no matter what their skill level was, they could not match him physically.
Right.
They just could not match up. So even if they played, no matter what they did, they had no physical way of even stopping him. Well, now there's guys who can match up with him.
Yeah.
So instead of him, so he might drop 25 and still be an all-star.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he ain't dropping 35, 40. I heard talking about Jordan to drop 50 against these dudes. Actually, no, he wouldn't. Because these dudes can actually match him.
Yeah.
They can match him. So he's a good, but he wouldn't step on the court every night with all the advantages. But on the flip side, if you put Kevin Durant in the NBA in 1989, he drops 50. I don't care how they goon tackle him. I don't care how rough they play, how physical they is. That 7-foot nigga will be dropping threes on niggas that didn't even that didn't even defend the 3-point line.
I just feel like the game evolved so much now. See, a lot of people don't know. Jordan
Some people act like it's blasphemy.
Jordan was like a low 30-some% 3-point shooter throughout his career. Yeah. And now
he didn't guard people at the 3.
Right. Nobody did, really. That's the thing.
Somebody told me that the Bulls would have beat the 2017 Warriors, and I said no, they didn't, because the Bulls didn't even guard the 3-point line. Could you imagine the 2017 Warriors coming out there with against a team whose strategy is we're going to let them shoot the 3? You'll be down by 25 in the first quarter. You'll be down 25 in the first quarter.
That's why I said,
no matter how good y'all is, you got a strategy of we'll let them niggas shoot the 3.
But that's why I always tell these people, man, somebody like Joker would have been serving their ass too, because
brutally.
all the Shaq wouldn't have been out at the top of the key playing no D. Joker would have been shooting his eyeballs out. You try to sit down there underneath.
Rodman would have shut LeBron down. Let LeBron get on the perimeter against Rodman.
All right, and that's the thing. I'm gonna say this as a James, I'm the spokesman for the James family.
Badly.
Yeah.
But and that don't take away from how great he was in his era.
What was Rodman, 6'9"?
6'7".
So LeBron taller than him, man.
Yeah,
LeBron 6'8".
50 pounds on him. But the thing is, unfortunately, I seen a dude at my job. He's always, anything happened in the 80s is better. He told me Steph wouldn't have survived in the.
They would have killed Steph. I'm sorry.
Here goes the thing. Mark Price, who was 6 foot 165, made the All-Star team 4 times. If Mark Price makes one more All-Star team, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame. If Mark Price could be an All-Star against those dudes, if Mark Price could be an All-Star against that competition, Steph would have been. They would have thought Steph. They would have thought Steph was from outer space.
Steph would do it, but I think they would have. I love Steph. Warriors fans all day. The physicality back then,
Steph.
I would hate to see
Steph
him
deadlifts 400 pounds. Isaiah Thomas didn't even touch weights because they thought if you lifted weights, it would throw your
off the shot. It shortened your shot.
There's an evolution of Steph, though.
Yeah.
I'm
not knocking
any Steph, and there's a Steph now.
I would hate to see him.
Bro.
And don't get me wrong.
Could you imagine the 160-pound guards in 1989 trying to hack 190-pound shit? 190-pound Steph who bench presses they whole body weight for workouts.
I would hate to see him go through all that. I would hate to see. Don't get me wrong. This league brutalized Steph too. Don't get me wrong, they did.
And then Steph got in the weight room.
And did his thing. So
Isaiah Thomas never got in the weight room.
You're right.
I put you like AC Green was the power forward for the Lakers, and he was considered rugged, tough, rugged.
AC
Green
he
was smaller than Draymond Green.
And AC Green is the poster child of chastity for America.
He even made the All-Star team being this rough, rugged, power
He
forward.
wasn't. That wasn't his moniker.
Draymond Green is stronger than AC Green was.
Yeah.
And you say Draymond Green he wouldn't have did that back then. No, he would have. He would have.
I'll give you that.
Karl Malone is so great because he was the first nigga to lift weights.
So
he was so much stronger.
I don't even like talking about
else.
that nigga on the show, dude. Fuck dude.
But I'm just saying though, is that pure physical strength. Kevin Durant bench presses 300 pounds.
That nigga's
Kevin Durant would have been the second strongest man. Kevin Durant, frail, skinny Kevin Durant would have been the second strongest, weight-wise, would have been the second strongest man in the NBA in the 80s. Because number one was Kevin Willis. He bench pressed 400. Karl Malone bench pressed 300. And nobody else. Because a lot of niggas didn't even lift weights. Mm-hmm. Charles Barkley used to brag in interviews that I don't lift weights.
Look, I Googled it. Curry's right now is benching 315 pounds.
Yes, and he's deadlifting 4-something.
Yeah, deadlift is 4-something.
Salute.
So,
Isaiah Thomas and them dudes ain't doing nothing to him.
Dumars would have been getting his ass whooped by
Joe Dumars would have just been getting
Mark
left.
Price would have been getting his ass whooped.
And these was all-stars.
Isaiah Thomas would have been getting his
don't
ass
get me
murdered.
They're cooking. Curry would cook them. My thing is, I would hate to see the physicality that they would put. Remember, this is a whole different era. That's all I'm speaking of.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I would hate to see Curry go through that.
I got a friend.
He went through shit now, but remember, it's a whole lot of shit that was allowed back then that ain't nowhere near allowed now. And I wouldn't want to see the babyface assassin go through that.
Hey,
that's all I'm saying.
I got a friend. I ain't gonna put him too much on blast, but y'all can probably put together the clues.
Mm-hmm.
He got on Vlad and said something different, but when he and I talked, he said most of the cast that was all stars and between that 80 and 92, and he came into the NBA in 89.
Mm-hmm.
He said a lot of cats today wouldn't even make a roster.
Yeah.
Now he got on Vlad. He got interviewed on Vlad not too long ago, and was kind of political. Like, oh, LeBron's pretty good, you know. It was a lot of good competitors. But it was me and him chilling. He said a lot of cats that was raw in that day wouldn't make a roster today.
They probably right.
You know, they wouldn't even make the roster today. You know, because of the skills, the physical ability, this and that.
The physicality of the game was different back then.
But I'm just saying though is that this guy did 12 years in the NBA, and he was like, man, a lot of cats wouldn't even make the team now. The game has just evolved. But now he got on Vlad and said some other shit. But
correct.
I ain't gonna put you on blast, blood, but
it's good. But I mean, you know, that's sports. What else been going on? You got
same thing with football too. It's cats that played linebacker in 1987. That's Hall of Famers. That they wouldn't be able to get to the.
Can we do
to the flat? No.
Sure.
Rest in peace, football. You brought it up. Rest in peace, Larry Allen.
Oh yeah, one of the strongest cats of all time.
One of the greatest offensive linemen in the history of the game.
600-pound bench press.
No, rest in peace, bro.
Coming out of Sonoma State. And all them places that they said you can't go to the NFL from.
Hey, they don't have Sonoma State doesn't have a football team anymore. But
who was his running back?
First,
I'm not
Emmett.
Sure. Yeah.
Emmett Smith.
And then I know he played for us.
Yeah, he played for y'all.
But
he got his shine on when he had that star on his helmet. That delete. When he was beating the shit out of the Niners.
Every place that Larry Allen ever went. All the bench press records is his.
Yeah. So
even the Niners.
Because
the Niners had Tom Rathman. And Rathman did over 500. I know that's old school. I know he blocked for Roger Craig.
Yeah, Rathman was a beast.
Yeah.
He came to the real team and did his thing.
Yeah, Allen bench, 600-700 pounds?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That made him at one point.
Bending when you doing that.
Yeah. That made him probably one of the strongest dudes. Like I one time seen Cali Muscle do over 500, and the bar was like,
yeah.
So I can imagine if you put another 100 pounds on that bench.
Exactly. It comes a point where,
It comes a point where that's why they made guns.
You can be swole all
This
you want,
nigga rip your car door off. Then you in the car like, oh, let me hit the locks on this nigga. Fuck you. And then get to ripping your door off. Like,
You
okay.
got to die, nigga. But man, you know, it's First Fridays.
Oh yeah, First Friday.
First Friday tonight.
Oh, and Gigi and Sierra are doing a First Friday fashion show somewhere on Telegraph tonight.
Okay, shout out to that. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. I hope y'all find y'all something to do this weekend. You know, summer kicked off.
Oh, and
last
stay out the way of
weekend
them
with
boys
Memorial
because
Day.
they got increased. They got checkpoints and they got increased enforcement. So you got highway patrol,
Out.
especially if you're in Oakland. Highway patrol is literally cruising the streets looking
For niggas.
for something to pull you over for. So they'll tell you didn't signal, or oh, I thought your headlights was out. And then here comes the next part of the game. Do you mind if I take a look?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Do you have anything to hide? No, I have nothing to hide, but I
Do
don't
you know why I pulled you over? I have no motherfucking idea.
Yeah, don't get to confess or nothing. And if it do come down to it where they want to put you off the car, make a wise decision. Get you a lawyer and fight them in court. Don't try to fight them on the side of the road. Don't give them people a reason or an excuse to do something to you.
Don't fuck up your summer trying to be too.
Make it home safely to your family. Get you an attorney. We know a couple good ones.
A bunch of them.
And make them regret fucking with you. But don't
do no.
don't give them
shit.
people no don't give them people no excuse to do something to you.
Yeah, but
Put you in the hospital and put your car in the impound.
Yeah, but speaking of, you mentioned the fashion show whatnot going on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Fly's got the pool party and whatnot going on tomorrow.
Hit him directly for the details of Dooney Fresh.
Details. I know there's a cigar event in Frisco. Some of my frat brothers, I might be going. I ain't
That's
smoking
tonight?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow in Frisco, cigar event. I'm more than likely, you might catch me there. Pull up. Everybody having fun. I mean, it's like I said, it's Gemini season. Mm-hmm. The Devil's Daughter season. You know, them twins, motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. Monday is
both the Devil's Daughters.
Yeah, it's Gemini season. It's that time. You know, Monday is rest in peace, cousin Biagi's birthday coming up. So happy heavenly birthday to you, cousin. I love you. I miss you. You already know. I'll be at the cemetery for you. Juneteenth coming up. It's little brother Duck birthday. So.
And don't y'all be out there with no damn red, black, and green.
Yeah, that's not the colors. But it's a lot of shit. You know, summer coming. You know, my youngest, he came home from his first year in college. It's good. We having fun. Summer is summer. So make sure y'all have fun. Summer's going to be summering. But don't be caught up in no bullshit. And I just want to say, rest in peace, to little cousin Blessings. You know,
rest in peace.
You know, she's 18 months old. Little cousin passed while I was on vacation. What's up, Shannon? What's happening? You know, that's so the family been, you know, it's tough right now with the family. So y'all keep the family in your prayers and thoughts. You know, life is a precious thing, but it hurts hard when you lose a young one. You know, didn't even make it to 2. So that's just some real shit. But life is life. We're going to continue to shine on. Everybody, hope y'all have a blessed weekend, day, moment, hour, 30 minutes, whatever the fuck it is you're doing. Mm-hmm. What y'all got coming up? I know the Whiteout was on the week before last. I had him on because y'all was busy, so I had Whiteout on. Whiteout got some comedy shows popping up.
Well, I'm just getting the final touches on the editing of the movie so we can be ready for the Oakland Film Festival in September.
That's what we're talking about. Oakland Film Festival, and it's going down. Fly, you got pool party album coming out. Mm-hmm. We got Styling next week, right?
Yep.
We got Jay Styling, Live Wire, executive. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all tune in next week, man.
Yep.
We got Styling coming on next week. I got Ad Capone coming on later on in the month again, and he bringing some of the PA family with him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just tune in. We got some real shit coming up. Brother Stewart, JD, what's happening, bruh? Shout out to the frat. There's a lot of things coming on, man. Y'all, like I said, this is the beginning of the summer. Be safe. Be mindful of what you're doing. Enjoy what you're doing. Don't let nobody stop you doing what you're doing. Tell everybody where they can find y'all at.
Hey, what's up, man? You can find me across the boards at Pharaoh Films, Instagram, Facebook, all that.
And you can find your boy Camouflage at KAMMFLAGE on Instagram. Got my Twitter back up, and I now have a TikTok.
Oh shit.
Yep, I got a no post yet, but yeah, that's coming. All this new album stuff is gonna be on there. Yeah, and then Facebook, man, that's for family, man.
That's
No
family,
offense, man. I keep that kind of tight, but
private.
Yep. But y'all can for sure Cognac Confessionals now. Y'all go to Cognac Confessionals
Facebook, Instagram,
Yep.
YouTube. Man, like and subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? Share the page. You know what I'm saying? We just some brothers trying to spread the wealth, spread the knowledge, and share the love. You know what I'm saying? I'm Deshaun. You can find me on Instagram at Cognac_Confessionals. Twitch, Cognac_Confessionals. I don't post nothing on Twitch. I think I'm gonna start incorporating my Twitch account with our podcast. We on Threads, Cognac Confessionals, Facebook Cognac Confessionals, and as always, you can always find me where in your bitch dreams. Why? Because that's where I reside. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, shit, I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? 99 plus 1. You can catch us next week, like we said. We got Jay Stalin lined up to come here, and I'm looking forward to interviewing and talking to the brother because I'm a fan of that man. I appreciate what we doing, and I want to salute you brothers as always because we've been doing this shit for a minute, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun. I'm enjoying what we doing. Let's keep this shit going. And y'all, like I said, like, subscribe, share the page. You know what I'm saying? Like, turn your friend on to this. And if you have a business, an artist, anything you got going on, and you want to share what you got going on with the world, man, holla at us. You know what I'm saying? Because we always down to bring what you got going on to the world because each one teach one. And nothing comes to
and y'all make sure y'all look out for that horror in Oakland.
Yeah.
Look out for that.
This gonna be a good
and
one
all
right
y'all
here.
artists submit them damn soundtrack. I mean them tracks for the soundtrack, so we could get it popping, man.
Squirters go to heaven.
It's gonna be a good one.
You know what I'm saying? And it's Friday. We gonna have some fun this week.
Yeah.
Got some shit cranking this weekend. We got some exclusive shit, some undisclosable shit coming too. But as usual, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out to JD Stewart, Ivory, Shina, Fernando, Diana. What's up, Diane? What's happening, man? On Sack family, Tommy. You know,
Good old Tommy.
Tommy. Hello, what's happening, bro? Everybody tuned in, man. Cliff, Slim P. Hey, condolences, my brother. You know what I'm saying? To you and the fam. Send my sincerest condolences to you, man. But everybody, man, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all wasn't tuning in and sharing the shit, we'd still be making money and doing shit, but we appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do. And as usual, now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Hey, catch y'all next week. Go have fun, but don't do no dumb shit.